Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? So, I'm going to get straight into it. I'm hiding from my logo, it's on my head. So, today we're going to look a little bit deeper into what this whole dissociation means. And then I've got a little exercise for you to do. It's not something you need to write down, it's nothing that you need to be really awake for. It's just something like yesterday in the head a little bit. So I'm actually going to share with you my screen today. So just bear with me. I'm going to come back as well. Here we go. So hopefully you can all see this that I'm about to share. Not that slide, this slide. So as you can see, we've got dissociation. We've got a problem in the middle. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to be doing is thinking about something where you've got a difficulty or a conflict, but not on a huge scale. So from a scale of 0 to 10, something that is around 4 or 5. So it's a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating, something that you want to see a little bit differently. But we'll come back to that. So when we have something here, a problem, we can either see it as, it's nothing, it's temporary, and it's completely impersonal. That is when we're stepping back from something and we're observing it in that way. As I said yesterday, there is no rights or wrongs in how you use association and dissociation. It's a technique where you can dip in and out of both of them to help you see something a little bit differently. So sometimes in yoga we talk about the third eye opening, and that is when you are able to see things from so many different perspectives, and it really helps you to gain kind of an insight, grounding, and often to move on as well. So association is when you think it's about everything, and it's going to be forever, and it's very personal to you. So you can maybe see which side you tend to favour in general. So if I was, for example, to give you an analogy of a roller coaster, looking at it from a first person point of view and a second person, let's just look at the third person point of view. So this is when you're maybe leaning over the gates of a roller coaster, you're looking at that roller coaster, you can see it, you can understand it, you can maybe even learn from it and so on. This is the third person perspective. This is dissociation, right? But if I asked you to close your eyes and imagine being on that roller coaster, now for me, this is difficult because I'm not a roller coaster person, unlike my sister, who very much is a roller coaster person, and probably my daughter, I think, is going to be a roller coaster person. I am not. So imagining kind of going up that roller coaster, and it's like, tick, 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 tick. I went on the big one in Blackpool. I think just to prove a point at the time. I wouldn't do that now. And I remember the feeling and looking down halfway and thinking, oh my goodness, we're not even halfway yet, and absolutely popping myself. So that is association, okay? And even now I can feel it. As I go into that memory, I can feel it. So there's lots of different perspectives, and these are the kind of 5 main ones. So you've got the feeling it, you've got the not feeling it at all, which is number 3. Now, the empathy is from somebody else's point of view, right? So if there's 2 people, if there is a conflict, if there is a situation, it's actually stepping into their shoes and going, okay, where are they coming from? Their whole background, their point of view, what's happening in their life. You could do it from either the observer point of view, that you could look at that and go, right, what's happening with them? Or you could take it one step further and really stand in their shoes and go, whoa, okay, that's what's happening with them. Imagine how that must feel. Okay, now the 4th one is kind of like looking at it from a group perspective. So if it's if you're a teacher, if you're in a work environment and there's a team, if you have a few of you that get together, sort of looking at it, stepping back again and looking at it from the whole group, how they're feeling. What different perspective or insight can you get when you step back and look at it that way? And then the 5th one is kind of checking in from your own belief system. So if you have a faith, for example, or if you've got your own understanding of spirituality or science or how the way the world works, is then stepping back and going, oh, interesting. So from this perspective, What is the things that I've missed? What are the insights? What can I learn and understand about this situation from stepping back and looking at it in this way? So that is the 5 different ways that I want you to have a think about your situation. Now, in these few minutes, which I do have, I'm just going to check there's any messages that have come up here. So I can hear myself. Good morning, Rue, Amanda, and Michelle, Karen. Lovely to have you with me. So what I'd like you to do now, it's only going to take a minute, is just close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, of course, but to imagine this situation now that you've got before you that is, I'm not talking about something that is really stressful and you feel you've done a lot of work like this before and you can take yourself through it, but obviously I'm not there to support you with this. So choose something on a scale of 0 to 10 that's around a 4 or 5 that's frustrating, because this is just a practice, right? We're not trying to change massive things right now. We're just practicing the tool. So around 4 or 5, frustrating, annoying, a bit of conflict, something how you'd like to kind of move on from if possible, or see in a different way. And you step into that, okay? So stepping in, and with NLP, you can do that physically even. You know, you can literally step into something. We call it an anchor on the floor, a circle, something like this. Or you can just decide to feel what that's feeling like. You might already be feeling it right now. So from that understanding, it's quite hard to gain an understanding because your emotions completely take over at this point. But there is still insights you can gain. What am I feeling? Sometimes we don't even ask ourselves, what are we even feeling? We just try to push it away. So ask yourself, what am I feeling? You can even journal through this perspective. Journaling with mind work is absolutely perfect. Okay, so that is, and you obviously take a little bit more time if you want to really explore this. What am I feeling? What insights can I gain from this? Okay, and obviously you can peel the onion further and figure out what's really going on. 2, so from the second perspective, what are I haven't got my slide up here. So from the second perspective, it's looking at the other person. So it's going, okay, what are they feeling in this specific situation? What can I see? Can I see any body language that gives me an insight into how they're feeling? Or can I step into their shoes to really understand what must it be like from their point of view? Even if this person really annoys you or you really don't like them, it doesn't matter. They have got their own feelings, their own situation. And this is about letting go of judgment as well, empathy for others. You can write that down as well if you like. Then we're moving into the observer. So this is what we've already practiced in terms of the roller coaster. So it's like you're looking at all this situation here. What do you learn from this place of non-emotion? Are either of you listening? Okay. So moving into the 4th one, you can write that down if you like. This is stepping into the vantage point of a group as a whole. So it's how it affects you and the other person, but also family, co-workers, group of friends. What's happening? Are you serving the needs of and positive experience of the group? Are either of you serving the group? Okay, so the outcomes, the vision and mission of the group itself that you belong into and who this impacts. And then the 5th, as we said, so stepping into that point of view. And is there any kind of tolerance, compassion, any kind of acceptance or forgiveness, self-forgiveness in this that you can get or gain from your belief systems or understanding in that way? So this is the 5 perspectives. So stepping out from this perspective of your own shoes, of looking through your own eyes and looking at your needs and your values and being your authentic self, to moving into somebody else's shoes and their understanding of the world and beliefs, walking a mile in their shoes, how does it feel? And so on. So let me just kind of share this screen now, if I can. Yeah, usually, there we go. So that is perspective shifting. There's lots of ways to do that. In some ways you can do it like physically, you can step back from yourself. What would my younger self say? What would my old and more wise self say? What would my tomorrow self say? Because actually over time, as I posted yesterday in the tribe, are you a perfectionist or are you easygoing? And sometimes we can be both. Um, Over time, your understanding about things shifts, your wisdom about things shift, and actually you end up getting over whatever it is that you were struggling with at the time. And we look back and we go, right, okay, there was a lot of learning in that. And if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be doing this, I wouldn't have met this person, and X, Y, and Z. So what I call that a learning line. So if you've got this dot, it's happening, you're in it right now. And then years or weeks or months or however long it takes to look back at that and see it, that line becomes shorter the more aware that we become and the more conscious that we are with working with the mind and recognizing what is happening at the time. That gets like practiced, and the more you practice it, it's like training a muscle, training the mind. Is that it doesn't mean that things are not painful anymore, of course they are, but it actually helps us to move forward through it a little bit faster, a little bit more calmer and wiser, and we can deal with things better, bringing peace to ourselves a lot quicker. So I hope that was helpful for you this morning. A little bit more mind work than yesterday, but tomorrow I've got a little bit lighter one. Tomorrow is how to shift. So again, it's a bit of dissociation and how to shift how you think about a certain situation. I'm not going to give you anything more than that because it's quite a nice, easy one like yesterday, how it can just quickly change how you're thinking with a little bit of activity. So I will love you and leave you there. Tomorrow is Friday, everyone. So we nearly made it. We're almost there. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.